Hey guys, Philosopher here, and today I'm going to be talking about the latest blog and Red Stars for Morgan Le Fay. And I'm going to warn you, I have to say I've read this blog already. There's going to be another video that I'm not happy about making. I will say I know some of you get frustrated when I'm not positive in my videos, but really lately it's been hard for me to be positive about some of the changes that Scopely's been bringing to the game. I just think the game is not going in a good direction lately, and I have to be honest with you about that. So let's talk about this, and there are some things to like here. I will say that I can't fault a 3-star unlock. I do think that's free-to-play friendly. I do like here that they are telling us now that there's a specific score you get that will ensure the 3-star unlock. So I do think that this is a good thing for players who are, let's say you're free to play or you're a newer player and you're like, I just care about unlocking this character. It seems to me like you know what you have to aim for. And we don't know what this means right now, but we know that at least that there will be some number you can get. And I will say that one of my kind of overarching feedback here for you is that we still, after this blog, don't know a lot of specifics about the Scourge event. I hope that there's a playtest. I hope they give us more information. I hope I can provide more information to you in the future. But right now, we know very little about this. So I'm getting lots of specific questions from players. Which of these characters should I promote with Red Stars for the Scourge event? Which of these characters should I gear for the Scourge event? I still think this blog, and I'm going to walk through the whole blog, I think it gives us too little information to know. We don't know what's on the nodes. We don't know which nodes are hard. We don't know, in terms of the difficulty sliders of these additional toggles that we can put on to make the Scourges harder or easier. We don't know which of those are going to be important and what characters are going to be needed for those. So my suggestion to everyone is, unless you have like unlimited resources, which pretty much almost no one does, be cautious about putting gear and levels on characters. Unless you need those characters for something else, my advice is to just be very, very cautious and hold on to your gear for now. So we'll find out what this means. I think the thing that really is a concern for this in terms of this entire shift for me is for free-to-play players, it's just that there's not going to be guaranteed characters unlockable, right? Last time, for example, when we had Omega Red become the legendary, we got Secret Avengers farmable, which is good for free-to-play players. That's the main loss here for free-to-play players, because at least they can unlock. I think the concern I have is for players who are going to try to get a 4, 5, 6, 7-star Morgan, which can be, either whether you're a free-to-play or Dolphin or Whale, you can at least you want to shoot for those. Before we knew exactly what was required. You knew you needed, let's say, you need your 5-star X-Force to get your Doc Ock, that sort of thing. Now we're in a specific situation where I think if you're hoping to get a 5-star Morgan Le Fay, you just don't know what to shoot for. This here, they said they've been doing internal testing, and now you can unlock Morgan at difficulty 4. And so they've reduced difficulty 6 to 5. To me, it's unclear what this means for us as players, because it's all numbers, right? So, okay, you're making the old difficulty 6, difficulty 5. Like, we don't really care as long as we can still unlock the character at the same rate we would have been able to. I think what this just shows me is that true to Scopely form, they don't even know what's going to be required. Like, they're still making changes up to the last minute. That's what this tells me, that they don't even know. One other thing that I'm going to point out later is it seems like they're making changes even to the Red Star method at the very last minute. We'll get to that in a minute. And special rewards only for the first run of the Scourge event. That's interesting, but they don't tell us what they are. They also don't tell us, by the way, that, they say the combination of Scourges that you select, they don't tell us what those are. I mean, we data mined them. I did give you some info from the data mines, but that's just a data mine that could obviously be subject to change, as we've seen recently in another example. All right. So they say, start preparing your roster now. Don't miss out on prizes. Well, we don't know what to do to prepare a roster. They don't tell us what we need to do to prepare a roster, right? They just want us to use gear, use gold, whatever. But they don't tell us what that would be, because, of course, that would allow us to make rational decisions to prepare. And then they say you can begin to prepare with an overview of how the events work. Okay, All right, so clear all 10 nodes to earn the most points. And then they say you'll have unlimited run score attempts, and the run can be canceled and restarted any time with no penalty. So go for the highest score possible by attempting multiple runs. I have to say, from my perspective, this is player unfriendly. Because basically what this means is you've got to do this over and over and over and over again to get the highest RNG possible, to get the highest score possible. I mean, if the way this works is, they said this is going to be ranked rewards. So let's say you want to get a 7-star, 6-star, 5-star Morgan Le Fay. Basically, this means that like everybody's going to be trying to run this at the highest difficulty possible and having to run this hundreds of times to get the right RNG. That's just not player friendly for a mobile game. Before it was that, for example, you got your 5-star X-Force to get your Doc Ock. You ran the event once, you won, and you were done. Now, basically, it's like, okay, I got my Gear Tier 15 Web Warriors or whatever you're building for this event, and you just got to run it over and over and over again to get the one lucky run so you can get up to the right rank so you can get your 5th star or 6th star or whatever. I mean, it's just adds to the time-consuming nature of this game. It's the sort of thing that I think is really player unfriendly. In other words, I'm sure most of you aren't focused on this, but this is the sort of design decision they make that just wastes our time for no good reason. It's not fun to rerun the same thing 100 times for RNG, in my opinion. Here, customize your runs by selecting a difficulty from 1 to 10, and then you can activate Scourges. I think that can be really great in terms of theory crafting and everything else. That's fine. And I do think that can be fun. But at the same time, like I said, I think that the unlock method overall is player unfriendly. All right. So then here, each Scourge event, and by the way, they're saying the highest difficulties aren't intended to be completed yet, so don't worry too much if you can't get to difficulty 8 in the first run. I think that what this means is just that over time, as the gear levels go up, they don't want it to be easy to get the character, so they're going to basically make it so this is going to be a sort of auction of sorts. Basically, let's say they want the top 1,000 people to get her at 7 stars. Well, the top 1,000 people, the gear that those people have in their characters is going to go up over time. The purpose of having the higher difficulty, as far as I could see, and this maybe I could be wrong. Well, I don't know more than you do about the Scourge events at this point. But it seems to me that the purpose of these high difficulties that you can't even complete right now is just that in the future, when they introduce Gear Tier 17, 18, 19, they don't want these characters to be easy to get, so they're going to basically make it like, effectively, it's like a blind auction of sorts, where everyone's trying to get rank 1,000 to get their 7 yellow stars or whatever it may be, and so that's just going to ratchet up in the future. All right, each Scourge event will have a minimum point total to unlock. Like I said, that's the part of this that I think is free-to-play friendly, the unlock requirement. But the rest of it, they said you're going to earn horseman shards for milestones and by climbing the rank reward leaderboard. And then you can earn them again in subsequent runs to get up to 7 yellow stars. So to me, this is just, this is, like I said, a kind of a blind auction of sorts. And this is really the biggest new news. And this, by the way, is different than the data mine. I'll show you in a minute. Also new for Scourge events is the method of earning red stars specifically for the horsemen, which can be achieved through these methods. The first method is through the rank rewards, giving extra incentive to earn the highest score possible. Like I said, it's just going to make this effectively like a very expensive auction of sorts. In other words, let's just say the top 5 people or the top 10 people can get 7 red stars on their Morgan Le Fay. Well, all the usual Super Kraken types are going to blow all the gear they can on their roster, red stars, whatever, on their entire roster to try to get and run this 1,000 times to get the 7 red stars on Morgan Le Fay. So the idea is that if only 10 of them can, it's capped, and so it will make it more profitable for Scopely. That's what I see here as what this is. Now, is that better or worse than the old system? Well, the old system had an RNG component to it, right? I mean, the old system was, okay, you unlock Omega Red, then you just pull Red Star Orbs and you get what you get. And then you promote them with gold promos. To me, I didn't like the RNG method. It should have just been all promos as far as I'm concerned. The whole system should just be promoting the characters you want. but it was less expensive, right? Because we can store up our red stars. We all have that currency, and we can save for the legendaries. I mean, a lot of you probably know that I've been hoarding my Elite 7 red star orbs for a legendary character. And I do that because, you might as well save them for the characters that really matter. So I will save I save my Elite 7s for a legendary. That allows you, even, and it may be for you, it just may be your regular red star orbs or Elite 4s or whatever it may be for wherever your resources are and where your account is at. But the point being is that allows us to plan and so on. To me, the rank rewards are just purely, it's going to be way more expensive because we don't have, the rank rewards are just like how big is your entire roster. And there's a time component too. Sure, if you run it 10,000 times to get the best RNG, maybe you'll perform better. But let's just be real here. Most of you can run this 1,000 times, 10,000 times, 100,000 times, and you're not going to do better than somebody with a 30 million TCP roster. Let's just be realistic. So I think this is going to be money, money, money. The second method, dark promo credits, well, it's similar, right? Because dark promos, one thing I will say is this is slightly better than the data mine, because the data mine suggested there was going to be, I think the concern was it was going to be a special orb for her red stars. Basically just buy this orb to get her red stars. Okay, dark promos, at least we have some of them, but let's just be real, right? Dark promos are expensive. They're player unfriendly. They're particularly, in my opinion, free-to-play unfriendly because free-to-play players have a limited amount of red star orbs. And you either can pull them when there's new good characters or you pull them during the trash moments where there's no good characters. And basically, to me, dark promos is a system that incentivizes whales to buy red star orbs, and it incentivizes free-to-play players to accept getting low red stars on all the good characters because they need these dark promos. It's a way of wasting the red star orbs that they get for free. So I that's why I tried to tell people don't upgrade Ultron, because it's just so expensive, not a good character. In Doom, I've recommended because I do think he is a very good character still. But, this is just, you got to imagine this is going to cost a fortune, right? Because they're charging us thousands of dark promos to upgrade Ultron, right? I mean, if you look, just to get the 5th star on Ultron is 2,400 of these things, which I don't even have. I haven't, I have not, I don't open mine to get dark promos. I don't care about dark promos generally. But if they could just make this presumably very expensive in dark promos, I'm sure it will be, to basically incentivize you to spend a fortune here. So, I can't get excited about this from my perspective. And the reason I'm saying this is a negative review of this blog is because from my perspective, this is player unfriendly. What I see here is a money grab, where this is just like how Dark Dimension 5, as somebody who raced Dark Dimension 4 and Dark Dimension 5, DD5 was way more expensive and much more of a money grab than DD4. I just view this change from ordinary legendaries to this system is a big money grab. And it's hard for me to get excited about it. The thing that makes it worse to me is that they aren't even telling us enough information to make plans or to make rational decisions. I know a lot of you want me to tell you to do something or another, and I really can't give you enough information because I don't think we have enough information to know how best to get your spot on this ranked leaderboard. I will say of the news in this, probably the thing that I'm the most positive about is that they are bringing some characters back into the red star orbs, because I have to say I'm pretty bummed that I missed out on pulling my 7 red stars for Heartless and Wong, because I would have done that if I knew that Morgan Le Fay was not going to be regular red stars. So now they're giving you a chance. You have a shot at getting Scarlet Witch, who may not even make the team. I could see people dropping Scarlet Witch either for Emma or Dormammu, but these two characters I only have 5 red stars on, so I may open elites here. I told all of you to hold on your Agatha Harkness, your orbs for Agatha Harkness till we got this news. I think it's safe to say that if you are holding your elites, what I would suggest is to pull the elite orbs either for Agatha or for this during this period of time, depending on who you have the lowest red stars on. Of those characters, I think it's more important to get them on Heartless and Wong than it is on Agatha, although she's a great character as well. But I think I do think Scarlet Witch is the least important of all these because I'm not sure she'll remain on the team in Arena. I think in War she will most likely, just because that would be a place for her right now. So I do think you should be spending your Elite Red Stars there. Otherwise, I just think this is a very vague communication. I don't think it tells us enough, but the news that we are getting, to me, is all overall pretty negative. All right, guys, if you like this video, I don't like this video, so just do what you're going to do. But if you like me, if you're happy, if you want to support the channel, press the like button, subscribe to the channel. If you think I'm wrong, if you love this method, if you love what's going on in the game, then put it in the comments below. Or whatever you feel. If you're angry, sad, you hate me, you hate my comments, you can put it below too. Whatever you want, put them in the comments or go to my Discord. We have a lot of good conversations there. I'm sure once Scourge comes out, we'll do a lot of theory crafting on my Discord. You can also go to my Twitch stream where I make these videos. That is linked below too.